Okay, I think we're all tested, ready to go. So everything's Rob, Rob and then Naz, please.
Thanks, Matt. Hi, Bruno. How you doing?
Hi. Everything okay? Thank you.
Good, man. Bruno, I wanted to ask you first about the situation with coronavirus, which we've spoken to you about before, but you'll have seen of what's happened with Spurs this weekend and what Antonio Conte's had to say. The Premier League have told us that clubs have reverted to, quote, emergency COVID protocols and everything's being timed up. Can you give us a bit of an idea of what changes you've made and are you worried about this situation?
Yeah, of course. I'm worried because just about us, but about also the other teams because, as you know, last week Burnley didn't play against Tottenham. They come more fresh than us for the game because of the snow, and for sure now is Brighton. So in that way we are a bit unlucky, but more worried than that is the public health. So we need to take the best of attention in this situation. So for us, I think no. I know all my players, all my staff, all the people here in the building, we are vaccinated. So and we continue with some rules because we need to, as you know, we have a small squad and we need to protect ourselves. So we continue to have the meetings with the players. Everyone have his own mask. We try to follow every time the rules when you go to the meals. So we try to do our best. But as you know, if when you go to the national team and after when you come back, the relationship outside, our families and so on. So everyone need to be aware of the problems, and we cannot bring the COVID for us.
So just to check, are all the players and all of the staff COVID free at the moment? No incidents?
No, the staff and the players, no. We have, as you know, 3 weeks ago we have Daniel. Now 2 weeks ago Marcel, but no, this week we didn't have anyone.
Good.
What is good?
Listen, I've been looking at your fixture list, and boy oh boy, you've got some games coming up, haven't you? Manchester City now, then Chelsea, Arsenal and Manchester United in the next few weeks, and you've had a fantastic start to the season. I wonder whether you look at this run of games, this next month or so now, and think this is going to be a key time. This will be a true test of where our team is at.
That's what I said in the beginning of this month. So I think is the real test. Now you're saying we have a good start, but when you look for the first 3 games, everyone was with doubts about our work. So that's the thing. So in the Premier League, that's why we need every game is a challenge for us, and I think when you go to play against these teams is a big opportunity for us to show our work. So as you know, we play nice game against Liverpool. We were there. We tried to play our game. I think we did well. We suffered a goal after hours. The players did everything I asked, and for now, one game at a time. Just focus on Man City. What we can do. So they for sure. I have sure of 2 things. They will have more time the ball than us, for sure. But I'm confident, and when we have the ball, we will play our game like we did against Liverpool. That's the only things I have sure, and I have go for the game with a big confidence. We already know we're gonna play against one of the best managers in the world, a fantastic team, as you know, and they know how to do a lot of things well. The way they start from the goalkeeper, the way they find spaces to score goals, even without a striker as a reference, they know how to play and they know how to create a lot of chances. And we are ready, we're prepared. I think the big difference between the Liverpool game and this game is Man City have more patience with the ball. They try to manage the ball. They have more patience with the ball. They'll try to bring our team side to side and then find spaces inside, outside, to find spaces to cross in the box, outside of the box. And we need also to have the same patience to find the right moment to press and create our chances.
Which of those two styles, which of those two teams, Manchester City and Liverpool, is more difficult to play against, do you think?
Look, it's very hard. So we cannot. It's very hard. So because so sometimes the style goes. Of course, the idea of the manager, but also the players do you have. So when you play against Jota, Mane, and Salah, they want the duels, they want to think the situations 1 against 1 very fast, and try to create. When they have spaces to run, they will run. When you are playing against players like Bernardo and Jesus, they have more patience with the ball. The midfielders have more patience with the ball. They will try to find the spaces. They will try to find more the situations in 2 against 2 or 3 against 2 to find the spaces with good dynamics. So it's going to be very hard, but as I think we prepared well the game, and I go with that game with that two things. For sure, they will have more time the ball, but when you have the ball, I have big confidence in my players. We have the courage to play our game in their stadium.
Interesting, thank you. Last one from me. Your predecessor Nuno talked a lot about liking having a small squad, that tight-knit group of players to work with. You've now got 5 games in the next 18 days, and then of course you lose Romain Saiss and Willy Bolly to the African Cup of Nations in January. So what are your thoughts on a small squad? Are we reaching a situation here where, quite simply, in January, you need more players, you need more numbers?
Look, when you say small squad, you need to understand the numbers of the squad. So when I was in Benfica, I usually say that I want a small squad because over there I have 28 players. So it's very hard to work with 28 players. And I believe when Nuno mentioned the small squad is around 20, 21 players. And in the moment, we don't have that kind of players because, as you know, some of the guys are out with injury. So I think since the beginning of the season, and that's why my concern, and that's continue to be my concern. I want to bring players to help us to be more competitive inside. I think we have a chance to have at least two good players, 2 top players for each position, to have that competition for the team grow up, and also for have solutions. If you look for, I said in the last 2 weeks, because now that's why it's a real challenge. When you have a small squad and you are playing once a week, we can manage the things in that way. But when you don't have it, it's very hard. So since the beginning of the season, we are working with 3 center backs, and every time we are playing with 3 center backs. In the last games, as you know, I just have one right back on the bench. It was key, and sometimes now happen in the last 2 games. That's why I was frustrated in the last game. I don't have one left back in the game to when Ryan asked me to go out against Leeds and against Liverpool. He did everything, 90 minutes. He cannot continue in the game. He asked, and I need I need to do changes, and I don't have a left back in the game. So against Leeds, I put Key on the right. I push Semedo for the left. It's a different position, body position, and as you know, we consider a penalty, and we missed two points over there. In this way, I was thinking the nice thing, though, I'd put Kiana is more fresh, and maybe hold on a little bit, 1 or 2 minutes. Salah, and we suffer in the goal in that position. So I'm not high this for everyone, because this happened, and you can imagine for us, our position, these 3 points, it's gold. So that's why we understand we want players to manage better the squad we have, and with little problems we have, some injuries who come from last year, 1 or 2 times the COVID. We don't have solutions, especially for our defenders. And after in the end, it will cost points, and points is very important for us. It's very important for us. You can imagine us with more 3 points, or you can imagine us with more 3 points in the end of January. You can define your goals and your goals in the end of the season.
Really interesting, Bruno. Thank you for your time.
You're welcome. You're welcome, bro.
Hi, Bruno. You okay?
Hi.
Bruno, on Connor and Ryan, are they okay after their knocks last week? Are they fit and available for this week?
Yes, they are tough guys, so they are ready to go.
And how
They need to go,
been-
and they need to go.
They need to go, yeah. And the thing is, how pleased are you with the effort? You mentioned the three centre backs, Romain, Connor, and Max. They have pretty much put in so much work. How pleased are you with the effort and the commitment and the way they have handled the situation that you're in, and played all those games and done very, very well for you?
No, that's the thing. Is I think we try to push. That's why we try to push every time the players to work hard, and in the end, what we want is to take the best of them. So that's why, if you remember, in the beginning, that's why for me the defenders, I'm more hard with the defenders than with the strikers, because they need to start our way to play, and after in the end they need to defend our goal is the big reference when you are defending, to control everything. They need to control the space in front of him and the space in front of and the space on their back. So very happy with them. Max, now everyone talk about Max. I know before he played some games. In the moment, I think I don't remember exactly if it was before or after Liverpool. I think he have more minutes than what he did in the last season. He's growing up. Cody, I think, is growing up also in the way we are playing. Try to control more the line. Try to, when they are defending, to come and approach more the space in front of him. Not start running too soon for our goal. And we are dominating the game with the ball because of them. We're playing long, we're playing short, and they give us a good support also when we have the ball.
Is it concerning in terms of the lack of goals from your side? I think it's four games out of 5 where you haven't scored, and you've created chances. Even against Liverpool, you had chances to score before they got the goal that won the game. Is that slightly concerning?
I think we can. I will answer with what Rob said in the beginning. So we start very well the season, but when you look just for these 3 goals, remember, no points and no goals. So we have moments. I think I will say the same thing I said in the first 3 games. The most important thing is the teamwork, and the most important thing for the goals is the way we are creating chances. So continue to give confidence for the players. Don't make too much pressure. They know they have that pressure, but I am sure the goals will come.
And Rob mentioned it. Just a brief word on Manchester City and how different to challenge this is to obviously Liverpool that you played last week. They are very, very different, and you mentioned they're going to be patient. Is it a case of when you get those opportunities tomorrow, potentially, you have to take them, and maybe if you get the first goal, that could be crucial, couldn't it?
Yeah, every time, of course, and especially here, you can see what happened when Crystal Palace went there. They scored in the first minutes, I think, and then, because I know, because I was in the other side when I was in Benfica and the other opponents are coming, they try to put the other teams time goals. They want to do everything to score goal as soon as possible, to be relaxed, to come, after they have more spaces. But look, I think the thing is for us to understand very well what we said about patience, because they have patience. I think they have more patience. Liverpool are try to play with the ball, treat it on the back, and they will have one man run between our defenders to track the space. And Man City have more patience. I don't know which style is best. What I know is they have the the way they play. Both teams they are very good in that, and they have players for that style.
Bruno, best of luck for the
Thank you,
weekend.
thank you.
Go for it, Moose.
Good, thanks. Hi,
Hi.
Bruno, how are you?
Hi, how are you? Okay.
First of all, can I just, before I ask about the game and COVID, can I ask how Willy Bolly is and how close he is to a comeback?
Start training this week. So in 4 trainings he did 3. He worked today with the team. So we go with us for the game tomorrow.
I guess if Conor Cody is going to put all of his body on the line and Roman Saiz is going away to the African nations, whether Willy Bolly goes or not, if he doesn't go, then it's another defender for you.
That's the thing. So we know these things will happen when we are in August, in the beginning of the season. We try to see which positions we need to improve, find the best players to come. But I think in January and also in the next window, maybe it will be more easy to find and to convince some of the best players to come, because we can have everything, and after in the end the players don't want to come. So we need to find the balance between we want that player, the player want to come, and also look for the financial situation of the club. But I will say the same thing. We need players to have more competition, and we need players in some positions, because in the moment we don't have.
Last week at Watford, Bernardo Silva was outstanding. He's got 7 goals already. He was brilliant last week at Watford. Do you think he's underrated? I mean, you're a countryman of his. You know him probably better than most.
I know him since he's 10. So he worked with me in Benfica. When I arrived to work under 10, he was my player. So I know him. I know a lot of players there very, very well. And look, I think for more important for the players and also for the managers is to be appreciated for the people you work. So the most important thing is the words of his manager, and you know what Guardiola think about him. You know what Guardiola say about him, just not as a player, but also as a man. So I think this is the best words you can hear.
And what will you say to him tomorrow if you catch up with him? Will you try and have a word? Will you try and say a few things to him?
I will say something if he start to dribble. Yeah, I will shoot him in his knee. So.
Two more. You played Liverpool last week, City this week, and you're playing as the best teams in not only in this league but in Europe, aren't you? I mean, Liverpool and City are amongst the best in the whole of the continent, aren't they?
I think that's the challenge to play here in the Premier League, and that's the challenge for me now in my life. So we are playing every time is a Champions League game. So and in 2 weeks we're gonna play against Chelsea, who won the title, Champions League title. So every time is a challenge. So even we're playing against the best teams just in the Premier League, but also in the world. But every game is a challenge. So for sure, these games will give more attention, because everyone in the world followed these teams. But every game is a hard game.
And my last one is about COVID. I mean, thankfully your team is unaffected at the moment by COVID. But I mean, this week we've seen that more restrictions are coming back in. Fans are now going to have to show a vaccine pass to get into games. Are you worried that we might, if things continue to go badly, end up with a situation where we had for the last 18 months, where we could be playing football again without anybody watching?
I don't believe we go back for that position. Maybe less people, but I don't believe we go play again without people in the stadium. What I know is, I think, look, I don't want to argue about that, but I think one thing is important is the people get vaccinated. I think is important. So I think that's why we don't have too many cases, and I hope this new how do you say, new variant cannot cause us problems to us, but we are managing the bad things with, and the first thing we did it to full vaccinated everyone in the building and continue with our rules. So let's hope is now between 1 or 2 months these situations. We have continue to have straight rules about it, but I don't believe we're gonna play without the fans.
Great seeing you, Bruno.
Okay, thank you.
Cheers. Thanks, Max.
Thanks.
Hello, Bruno. Just a quick thought from
Hi.
me, if I may. Hello. When you've had a game like last week, where everybody agrees how well the team played, gave a really good account of yourself, and you've lost at the very end like that, I'm sure you and the players would have been very, very disappointed. Do you have to lift them up afterwards, or do they have that themselves? Do they find it within themselves to think, yeah, but we did really well, rather than being a knock to their confidence?
Look, I was disappointing after that, and disappointing more because the things I said to you, it was very hard for me to take that decision to put Key again as because it wasn't Key mistake, and I said to him, you don't need to apologize in the social media, in the Instagrams and so on, and also you don't need to apologize here between us, because when we won together, when we lose together, and it was my decision to put you there. And as you know, for wingers is you don't feel too much difference to play on the right or left, but for the left backs, and it's more hard. So my frustration comes from that. For don't have the people I want in the bench to manage better the game. Happen with Leeds, and happened in the last or after hours when Ryan asked to come out, and so that's my frustration. But when I went to the dressing room, when I look for their faces, it was more frustrated than me. So, but you know, this is football. We don't have time to celebrate. We don't have time to put our head down. You need to move on. That's the way we start the season, as you said, with good performance, create a lot of chances in a different way, because in the beginning of the season we create more chances when we play against also top teams like Leicester, Tottenham, and Man United. But after I give 2 days off for the boys, and after when they come with eyes on and move on to game against Man City. I think one of the things I learned here, because any population have his own culture. So in Portugal, we stay too much time with the defeat, you know. And for me, it was very strange in the beginning, but I learned with that. When after the games, the managers meet in the manager's room, have a drink, and so on. And after, it was confused for me. Sometimes the managers lose the games and come, and they are there having a drink and so on, and move on. And that's the way. After, in the end, there's more important things than football. Football is very important. We spend more time working in football than with our families, but we don't have time to cry. We need to move on. And that's the good things I learned here in this country with this football.
That's lovely. Thank you, Bruno.
Thank you.
Good luck
Thank
tomorrow.
you. Thank you. Thank you.
Did you got a question back there?
Yeah, just one. I just want to check, right to assume Marcel is now available again, or is he...
Yes. Marsan and Bongi go to the game.
Yeah, and other than that, is the squad entirely the same as from last weekend? There's nothing...
No, nothing changed.